Last week on the Bowen Manhunt, the men continue to battle it out in the Oudtshoorn region and are starting to feel the heat as the group gets smaller.
We grow closer, the margins of error are smaller on these squad trials. You don't, at the end of the day, no one wants to go to judgment.
Yeah.
No one wants to go home. No one wants to vote anyone home.
Bowen men, go! With solo trial, the men had to race each other around an oval track, first pushing, then carrying, and finally flipping an array of tires. It was a physical affair that once again saw Johannes dominating the proceedings and Mangoba surprising everyone by coming second. The squad trial required more brain than brawn in a challenge where each squad had to build a fully functioning rocket. While Johannes declined the squad boost of a head start, Mangoba made sure his first pick was the engineer in the group, Uhilkia. This turned out to be pivotal as Mangoba's team was the first to complete and successfully launch their rocket. Good judgment, Bongs tried to shift the blame for the team's loss on the Rocketeer, but in the end, the fact that Oz had never come first or second in any of the solo trials worked against him, and he became the 7th man to be voted out of the Bowen Manhunt. With only 9 men left, kuzoenzakalani? Asas. It's another traveling day for the men as they drive off to their new location for fresh challenges and trials.
All the gents were excited to leave Oudtshoorn. We were excited to go back to lavish life, hotel living. But unfortunately, we're back in the wilderness again. Well, this expedition thus far has been quite erratic. We've been nice hotel things. I would chill in my robe every morning. Hey, now it's Oudtshoorn, frost on the ground. Gents.
Living with a group of guys, there's one thing that you need to understand, that we're not all domesticated. Guys right now who are actually not doing anything at all. Johannes, he's not even trying or coming close and trying. Debs as well, he's a spoiled brat, well, which we all understand. As for Johannes' background, I know that he's married already now, so I guess the wife is spoiling him. 10 minutes.
Kind of miss the way she cooked, the food that she made for me.
Everyone's complaining about not having any females around. A few gents have photos that they pass around and show gents. It feels like we're in the army now.
I think they're all city guys, unlike me, that has been surrounded by nature and has been living near the nature. So this is my scenery. Give me a fishing rod, put me in the wild and I can eat anything basically.
Actually sleep in a 5-star hotel, For a moment we felt like superstars, and then boom, it's just changed. We felt like nothing again.
I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm so cold.
It's too cold to take a shower, dude.
No, man.
My tense is Johannes. He gives me advice every single hour, which I like. He's a good teammate. He's a good roommate too.
We actually open up to each other. as in others were actually highlighting their weaknesses, others wanted to highlight their strong points, of which for others it was a wrong move because towards the end of the night they felt like they've actually had a target on their back.
1, 2. The last solo trials, somebody that I've noticed that, or 2 people actually, is Bongs and Zweli. They're always in that 2nd, 3rd, 4th position. 1, 2.
I want to make sure I perform well. I've only won once, I want to win again on a winning team. So, yes, I am feeling the pressure to win. The guys got together and they're talking about who's been performing, who's not been performing. You know, my name didn't come up as the weakest day in the performance out of those guys here. I want to make sure I perform very well. I want to make sure my team wins. I want to do my duties, do my parts very well, and just be a team player for today.
I'm in the Knysna area, the location for the men's next solo trial, which will test their ability to master 3 traditional woodcutting tools. But the big question is, which one of them will be axed? Knysna is known for its forests and precious woods. A thriving timber industry was started in the mid-1800s. It was a tough job to be a lumberjack. Many people died in accidents while working and living in these forests. Today, most of the indigenous wood varieties are protected.
I want to leave my mark here as the greatest by one man.
Unless if you give it your ultimate, your everything, you're not going to be a winner. Machimbos? Yeah. Feet. Sure.
Oz was the next person to leave us. Well, there are 9 of you left, gentlemen, and the hunt continues. Here's the brief on today's solo trial, which is called the log relay. Today you will experience how tough it can be as a lumberjack. Each of you will have to cut through 3 different logs, which will be placed at 3 stations. The first one should be relatively easy with the chainsaw. However, you will have to get more physical as you hand saw your way through the 2nd log. And finally, we'll go a bit more old school with the wood cutting axe, which you will use to chop through the last log, at which point a flag will then be dropped. The first 2 men to cut through all 3 logs will go on to win captaincy in the squad trial and secure amnesty for themselves at the judgment. Yavakal. Asbange.
Okay, I grew up in the Northern KZN. Obviously, I got exposed, but then I never really interacted with any of those tools.
I've used an axe before, but I'm in a small axe at home, you know, chopping for firewood, but this is a different ball game here.
The last time with the Zulu axe, I was doing pretty well. The Zulu axe was smaller, this axe is much bigger, and now I'm not cutting a rope, I'm cutting in something stable, so I think it will be much better.
Stay tuned for the opportunity to win great viewers' prizes by answering a simple question about today's episode a bit later. Okay, boys, are you ready for the log relay? Yeah. Forward, men! The first challenge for the men is to fire up their chainsaws.
As I got to the chainsaw, after I took the cover off, I was literally blank for a couple of seconds. I was like, huh?
As the men are struggling to get going.
And then all of a sudden it just came, okay, switch. And then after that I got my rhythm.
The men must cut 3 evenly sized sections from their first log.
What I thought was, you know, just to get my steps on how to start it up and stuff, and I actually got a good start. The technique using the chainsaw was just, you know, to have it lightly directed in the position you want to cut, basically.
I struggled primarily because of my technique. It was explained to us not to try and cut hard into it, which I didn't do, and I get stuck, and I got stuck from the beginning and kept jamming quite a bit. That technique obviously didn't work out.
Nangu ke uJono leading the pack. Jonathan cuts through the last section, elandelwa uZweli noJohannes.
That is saga, like every time I get a game, I compete against myself. I share what you tell around, you know. When I go to the handsaw, yo, that one is difficult.
Getting to the handsaw, I thought I had a good rhythm, but then obviously looking at the other guys, I saw that they had a better rhythm gripping it with 2 hands, and that actually helped me a lot.
We came to handsaw. I cut it through easily, but when I get to the circumference at the bottom, I found out it overlapped. It's not the same line.
While the others have begun the second leg of the game, uQ no James basabhayiziswa chainsaw. Oh my God. Devza's technique appears to be failing him as he struggles with the handsaw through his second log. Q joins the rest at the second log while the race between uJono and Johannes is heating up. uJohannes sekafika ekugcineni enomela asebenzise izembe ke to chop through a vertical log.
It was hot, that log was wet. But you know what? As I said, I'm a machine. I went through it like nothing.
uJono umfuna la uJohannes aliwenza ngakonke okusemandleni ukumbamba.
I grew up in this part of the world, so cutting or chopping wood is part of my DNA.
Bongs is through to the third round.
It was at some stage demotivating to see guys just not passing me by, but I guess they had a better technique or maybe a stronger arm swing or arm movement.
Will Bongs catch up with the 2 leaders? Asas. And Johannes drops the last log, which makes him the winner of this solo trial. And right behind him is Jono, who's only a couple of minutes away from dropping that flag. Drops the flag. So now we officially have our 2 squad captains and men who have secured amnesty for themselves at the judgment. It's all over.
I like being a top contender. I hate coming second. I like to win. I am that competitive.
When I came here, I said something like, okay, I left my house, the love of my life, to come here and win this thing so that it can change my life and change the lives of other people in the township that I'm from.
Firstly, well done, gentlemen. Bongs, Bonile, you were close. I saw you struggled with the handsaw, but you came very close to making it as the runner-up. However, Jono beat you to it. Take me through that experience, man. Have you done this before?
Well, I've never used the chainsaw before. It was a bit of a struggle for me because I didn't know whether to put it at the center or use the far right thing. But on the second one, I kind of got the rhythm going, and then I got stuck on the handsaw.
I see.
But then by the time I got here, this man was already hammering that thing with the axe. So yeah, that's how I lost.
So shall we technology?
Technique, actually, technique.
Jono, you win again as the runner-up. You've won captaincy on numerous occasions now. Are you a tough contender?
I won't say so.
Are you the toughest? No. Don't be modest. Don't be modest.
I think we saw who's the toughest, one of the toughest contenders, yeah? Obviously, all credit to Johannes.
Sure, man.
But you know what, I just decided give it my all at all and go over the pain level. You know, whenever there's pain, just try and pass it.
And to the man of the moment, Johannes, to be honest, Mfana, you've exceeded my expectations. I didn't really expect you to get this far, but you did well. And you know, it just proves, you've got your eye on the prize. And
it's not only that, House. The thing that you need to know right now, I'm a machine.
Yeah. Take me through your game plan.
To be honest, each and every trial that we have, I give it a game plan or any strategy about the trial. I just go in and use my power.
How important is it at this stage to win captaincy?
Now, it's very important because right now, this game has taken a different turn. So winning the captaincy for me is kind of like securing myself in this competition, you know. If you don't win it, you might pack your bags and leave anytime soon.
Let's give a round of applause to the two winners, guys. Johannes and Jono, this makes you guys the captains in the squad trial, and you've also secured amnesty for yourselves at the judgment. Well done, go get some rest. I will see you a bit later on at the squad trial.
First time when I came here, I wasn't that guy who talks too much. I was quiet. And for them right now, they need to watch out because I'm coming for all this captaincy from now on until to the end.
Jimbo sathola isikhathi sokuchillaxa kancane playing miniature golf to unwind.
Disqualification.
Like I said, amateur golfing. What poor
We already have a champion.
display of no coordination whatsoever.
Judging from the squad trial, the previous squad trial, and the performance of the squad trial, I'll take Johannes.
I want to show you how to play this game.
Johannes, has a better record as a captain.
Okay.
Jonathan always seems to be the losing captain.
Whoever hits the first shot closest to the hole wins. H before beauty.
H before beauty. When I leave this competition, I want to know that I gave it my all. This competition is just giving me an idea of how fit, how strong, mentally how strong I am, physically, how far I can push myself.
Oh well.
I'd obviously feel threatened by the fact that I haven't won captaincy or I haven't been runner-up, because I'd probably get into the same situation Oz was, and I don't want to be there right now. But what I think is, if I am in a squad, I need to just make sure we win, do my best like the last challenge, squad challenge, and win. And then that would be a good thing.
The men have arrived at the Knysna Elephant Park, and it's here where they will play their next brain-teasing squad trial.
The Knysna forest elephants are part of the history of Knysna, part of the mystique and magic of the forests where they have roamed for thousands of years. They ranged from the forests of George all the way to Tsitsikama, but were hunted to the brink of extinction in the early 1900s. Namhlanje there are only a handful alive and they are very shy and hard to locate.
I'm here to play the competition and prove to myself that I'm the strongest man.
I'm not focusing on having to prove myself continuously, so it's just about focusing and staying in game mode.
Jimbos.
Sure.
Welcome to the squad trial, gents. I'm sure you're all familiar with the old saying, an elephant never forgets, right? So squad captains, keep that in mind when you make your selection, because you're going to need men in your team with a bit of elephantine intelligence. And with that being said, let's pick the squads. Johannes, you are the man of the moment. You won the solo trial, Baba, which means you will be captain of the red squad. Atamela Mrena, and come stand on the red mat. Jono! You did it again, boy. Captain once again, and you will be captaining the black squad. Step forward, step on the black mat. Johannes.
Chief.
Think carefully.
I'll first go with Smith.
Okay.
This man doesn't seem to forget. He's like an elephant to me.
Johannes has never picked me before, and the word around the camp is that I'm the next person to be voted. It's myself. If I find myself in the losing team today, I think that's it. I might as well just start packing.
I'm gonna go with Bongs.
Bongs. Sondela Baba, part of the black squad. Why Bongs?
Well, we seem to work together. We live in the same tent, so we've got a great understanding.
Okay. Back to you, Johannes.
I'll go with my man here, the mountains, really.
Okay, Zweli's in the red squad.
I'm gonna go with Debs.
Debs is in the black squad.
James. Yeah.
Jono, 2 men left to pick from.
I'm gonna go with Q.
I was kind of disappointed that I was selected last. I mean, it is a mind game. I guess maybe I'm a little too overconfident when it comes to my mental strength. And it does require height, and all the short guys were picked first, so I don't know what the squad captains are thinking about.
Barilam.
Yeah.
Once again, you're the odd man out.
Yeah.
You know what that means, right?
Oh, no.
You haven't been selected because the teams have to be even, but you will still be linked to Johannes' squad, the red squad. So if they win, you are staying for another week. If they lose, you go with them to the judgment where you could be up for elimination.
Cool.
Give him a hand, gents.
I was actually surprised to be the odd man out today. But I'm guessing the captains obviously know what they're going for. They know what type of team they wanted.
Okay, squad captains. Here's the brief on today's squad trial, which is called Elephant Towers. Simply because it's the bigger version of the original puzzle known as Towers of Hanoi. And how it will work is each squad must transfer a set of blocks from one pole and stack them in the same pattern onto the furthest pole. It sounds simple, gentlemen, but only one block can be moved at a time, and you cannot stack a bigger block on top of a small one. Clear? Yeah. The first squad to successfully transfer all their wooden blocks from one pole to the furthest pole in the correct ascending order will win. The losing squad will go to the judgment, where one of you will be voted off the Bar 1 Manhunt. Johannes.
Yes, sir.
You have an opportunity now to forfeit your amnesty in exchange for a squad boost. And in this case, we will bring back the odd man out, Siakbolega, for 1 minute, for the first minute of the game. And that, he could come in handy, so it's something for you to think about. You may discuss it with your squad.
Okay, guys. It's not worth it. I'll twist it for 1 minute.
Remember, gentlemen, those blocks are quite heavy. So the longer it takes you to complete the puzzle, the more tired you will be.
I told the captain, let's take the squad boost. That's H is an engineer, and H has done this before. So I told him that we need the height here, because you have to pick up those blocks, and plus we need his brains. He's done this before. He's an engineer. So I told him, let's take it, and he said no.
Johannes, what's the verdict?
This is quite difficult, but for 1 minute, man, it doesn't worth it. At least if you were saying for over 30 minutes, yeah, so I was gonna say it's cool. For 1 minute, I think we can handle it ourselves. So I'm not giving up anything yet.
Okay, so Johannes is not taking the squad boost. Gentlemen, are you ready to play Elephant Towers?
Yes.
Abashu.
We're gonna win it. We're taking it home.
I'm going to push for us to try to win today. I'm fighting for, for survival. For me, it might mean my last day here.
Okay, gents, you are now in game position. Are you ready to do this? Yes. Power one man. And the red squad is the first to remove a block.
Pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up.
Come this side, let's take it here. Bongs.
Ungathi ama-squads acabange ngokufana ngama-strategy wabo.
It's a bit heavy. Let's go, ready?
The black squad is lagging behind.
All on, stop. Ready, set, all. Go, 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 go. Let's go. This way, this way, this way, this way. Quickly. Up. Down.
I'm confident with the people in my squad because most of them have experience on playing these games. A person like Smith is really, they said they know most of the games, so the age might help here.
It's down.
My leadership style today took a bit of a turn. I knew it was going to be, I'm going to have to be more direct. And instead of the other times where, it was more like a discussion, let's talk about how we're going to do it. I just took it upon myself to just be direct and lead the guys.
Come on, gents, come on, up there. Let's go. Oh, wait. Some bombs. This one goes here.
We got this, guys.
The red squad sehamba ngonyawo lonwabo and might lose their lead.
For this kind of trial, I didn't think that we're gonna be needing an engineer, I've got the guys that can think fast. I don't need the engineering experience in this thing, Everybody can pull it off. We got this, guys. Got it.
Which side, man? Small one.
When I helped the guys with the first block, I would probably say about 10 to 15 kgs. Second one got a little bit heavier, I would say maybe 30 to 40.
Let's drop it. Which way are we going?
And then the last one, I remember Q said, yo, and it almost slid to his side. I definitely think that one was maybe just over 200 kgs.
The trial is now at a point where one mistake will determine ukuthi ubani owinayo or ubani oluzayo. Who will it be?
Small one there.
At one stage, I only looked over to the red team, and at that stage, they were leading us.
It was a very, very easy game for us. Some of the guys played it before, so we had a nice strategy for it.
Quickly, guys, quickly! Run it!
When I looked at the trial, I already had a plan in my mind. It was just for me to keep my composure and know exactly what I wanted from the guys, and just remembering the steps that I have said so many times over and over in my mind.
The squads are neck and neck. This is still anyone's game.
As squad captain, I really think Johannes was supposed to take the squad boost because we really needed that minute and age is sold. I really think Johannes is playing a solo game here.
Amadoda ku-red squad ngathi abasaboni ngasolinye. Will this cost them the try?
Just drop it.
This was my fourth time having Jono as a captain.
Let's go.
From the beginning, he said that, guys, I've got this, I've played this. Once you put yourself forward that you know something, the guys will obviously always believe you, and allow you to take charge of whatever it is.
Sekusele kancane ukuthi Black Squad iqede ngephazili.
And the Black Squad wins!
Yes! Yes!
I'm actually glad that I won today and that I'm on a roll, breaking my previous losing streak. It's a good feeling to win for a change.
Well, there are 4 blocks at the opposite end in the Black Squad, which means they win this trial. Sondelan bafowethu, sondelan bafowethu. Unfortunately for the Red Squad, they didn't make it in time. Ningasondela nani bafowethu asikhulumeni. Well, Jono, you did it again. What was your game plan, man? Clearly you played this game before.
Maybe once, many years ago as a child. I think I stored it somewhere here in the back of my
Elephant.
Yeah, like an elephant, eh? Yeah.
Robs, how do you feel about not going home for another week?
It feels great, obviously. I mean, get another shot at the title. Yeah.
No, congratulations, gentlemen. Hey, Johannes.
Yeah, how's that?
Kompadile pa.
You know, like we had our game plan right. We played everything right. It's just that we were not quick enough than the other team, you know. Really a bit slow, like we nearly lost communication somehow in a game.
Well, that's so unfortunate, Johannes, because this only means I will see you and your squad at the judgment later tonight, where someone will be voted out of the Bar 1 Manhunt. Gentlemen, you can go.
Sure, Hazard.
Captain of the red team on this squad trial, I really think he didn't do well. It's supposed to be a team player.
It's my 3rd time losing as a captain, but that doesn't make me a bad leader or something. It's just that the team that I put up every day, you know, I expect a lot from the guys, but they're not giving me what I expect from them.
Today, I'm going to a judgment, but I hope the guys will go with their words that now we're only going forward with the guys that are strong.
I think it's a sad feeling knowing that, you know, one of us not might be leaving, one of us are leaving. I think the guys are pretty aware. If you haven't performed, I think there's a clear message that you might, you know, start and prepare yourself to go.
In terms of Uti, when Alaukon, Uti, are we still pushing merit in a sense, your performance in the squad trials and also Guma Solo? USC pusher or says pusher lady the
guys think that they will be voting on merit, but if they vote me out tonight, I'll know they'll be basing on friendship, because the rumor sounds like it's friendship, because you'll hear this one must be voted out. So you don't know because my name was mentioned.
As soon as the alliance thing started, whether it's from us or from elsewhere, but it was from elsewhere since we didn't want to do something like that. But as soon as names were being said, so-and-so is going to go home, and the reason is always going to be valid.
So today, I become a safety net in a way. In fact, it's you and me.
The end of the pack kind of guys are definitely, we're talking about the guys that are not performing, that are always last or second last in solo trials. Tabs, Smith, H is, well, it's not second last, but you know, he's 4th, 5th. It's never in the league, you know, where you're supposed to be winning and stuff like that.
It's quite hard for me to rate myself at this in this competition, because I don't think I've really managed to, you know, to bring out my capabilities per se. Already from the 3rd week, my head was already on the block. People, you know, that I was supposed to leave after Johan and all that. So that in itself made me to try to quiet down, or, you know, to be invisible in a way and try not to be to overexert myself.
But
ba feel like threatened about any movement, like anything at mo campong, like.
If you get voted out, you're gone. There's no other time that you're gonna come back and say, let me prove myself now.
Friendship has played a role to some other guys here in the top 9. H and Q's friendship, that's played a great impact on helping both of them become in the top 9.
Guys like Smith, Tibbs, and H, those guys, they're not really pulling their weight. I don't know what's happening, like, I don't even know the reason why they're still here. Because for me, I don't find any competition in them.
Welcome to the judgment. As the losing squad, one of you will be voted out of the Bar 1 Manhunt. Each of you will cast a vote for the person you feel did not live up to the standard of a Bar 1 man. And at this point, Johannes is the squad captain with amnesty. However, he will have an opportunity to give it up to someone else before we start voting. Once voting is done, all will be revealed, and the person with the highest amount of votes will be asked to relinquish his Bar 1 Man expedition watch and to leave the game immediately. Yavakala. Asikhulumeni ke bafowethu. Johannes, this is your second time bringing a losing squad to the judgment.
You know, Hausa, performing like individually, it's very, very different from performing like in a team. So in a team, you put people together to combine like their skills and everything to make up that team, you know. But for me, like it feels bad. I feel bad actually. This is my second time as a captain, and I'm in a judgment. You know, there was a time where we were putting up the small puzzle from one pole to another. So the guys were kind of like confused whether this thing is going to the right-hand side or the left-hand side. And that's where we lost time.
But then was it not your responsibility as the squad captain to control that?
Normally when I lead a team, I don't go there as a captain, I don't become a commander. I tell the guys, this is our team. We obviously wanna see this team going forward. We wanna win this. We strategize before the thing. And Majida like Gaffel never what is going where. But I think maybe nail pressure or something. So that kind of miscommunication.
James, if you were the squad captain for this particular trial, what would you have done differently that Johannes didn't do?
I was definitely gonna use the squad boost. You know, H has played this game before. H is told, you know, more people is better for us. You know, we can separate each other and play in twos. So I definitely was going to use a squad boost.
On that note, Johannes, let me come back to you. Last week, there was a squad trial where you were the squad captain, and it required a bit of intelligence, and you did not pick Hilkia for that trial. And today again, you know, I gave you guys a clue regarding what is expected of you in this trial, and still again, you did not use him.
When you're doing a trial, I don't look at somebody's background. I look at the guys, okay, this guy has proved me on the previous trials. So the skills is I can see, okay, skillful guy, skillful guy, less strength guy, weakness guy. Once we can take all those things and combine them, we can get something out of it.
But Hilkia, surely that must make you feel a bit awkward for the fact that you've been the odd man out for the second time in a row.
I think for me personally, I mean, like squad captains have their idea and their plans. You understand? The previous time that I was out was because of an injury, and I had spoken to the captains, and this time around I was actually surprised that I was not chosen, because last week when I was chosen for the rocket task, I mean, the results spoke for themselves. So I was very confused about it, but I wasn't demotivated about it.
Have you played the game before, Towers of Hanoi?
Yes, I have. I have played it before, And I mean, I had time to look at it as well while we were standing there. I actually had a look at it, so I knew exactly what needed to be done because I was counting the blocks and I had already made my sums in my head. That was even before we were selected in teams.
Smith, having been aware of that information, did you not feel the need then to maybe persuade the squad captain otherwise and say, look, why not bring him in, even if it's for that minute? That surely could have made, you know, a world of difference.
I said to the guys, you know, I haven't played this game, but looking at the pieces, I can already see that the small piece has to move the most. That's the only, you know, talk that we had. Whether Hilkia played it, I never knew before. It was only after.
Would you say that, your loss was a case of too many men knowing too much?
No, I think our loss was we had a 2-second delay where myself and James were obviously picking the small piece. And when I said right, he's right, it's, you know, it's the other way. So that 2 seconds, that's what cost us.
Now, James, let me come to you. Who do you think was lacking in this particular squad trial?
I think everybody performed there. I mean, go back to Zweli, what Zweli was saying. We played the game well, but the only thing that we didn't do, we weren't rough enough. We were supposed to just drop them, you know? Pick and drop, pick and drop. You know? We pick them and put it down, you ready? You know? Next one, you ready? You just pick them and just drop them, pick them and just drop them.
Smith, as somebody who has never won captaincy before, do you feel you could possibly be up for elimination tonight?
It is no secret that when we were back at Oudtshoorn, that if you're not captain or if you haven't made captain, then your fate is it's pretty much wrapped because you haven't won captaincy.
Okay, gentlemen, before we start voting, let me come to you, Johannes. You are the captain with amnesty.
Winning the captaincy, getting the amnesty. I've pushed myself to win that. I've ended. And like for me, like to give it away is like I'm spoon feeding the guys. They need to work hard for the amnesty.
Gentlemen, the time to vote has arrived. In front of you, you'll find boards that you will use to write down the name of the person you feel is not good enough to go through to the next round and to continue on the Bar 1 Manhunt. You may begin.
Azovota kanjani amadoda namhlanje? Will the last squad trial come into play or will past performances hold sway?
Gentlemen, have you made your judgment?
Yes, sir.
So let's see who you have voted out of the Bar 1 Manhunt tonight. Starting with the squad captain, Johannes. Who are you voting for?
Well, I voted for this man.
Okay.
It wasn't an easy vote. Spent so much time with the guys here, especially this man. He's the oldest. He actually taught us a lot about life, you know. But in this competition, he didn't really show me what he's made of. So that's why I'm voting him off.
Interesting. Okay. So that makes one vote for Smith so far. James, please reveal your vote.
I voted for Smith. I feel like Smith didn't pull up his socks to my definition of merits. Being the top 5, you know, getting those captaincy. It was a hard decision to make, and I have great respect to Smith. And one thing that I'll always remember about him is that I must always respect my elders. I respect them.
So now we have 2 votes for Smith. Smith, please show us your vote and explain why you voted for that person.
Okay. I voted for James based on today's trial. At the solo trial, he didn't cut the second lock, and at the squad trial, the hesitation cost us the game.
So now we have 2 votes for Smith and 1 for James. If Smith gets the next vote, he will be the next person out of the Bar 1 Manhunt. If James gets the next vote, it will be a tie between him and Smith. Zwitja, please show us your vote.
Sorry, buddy. I voted out Smith. It was a hard vote. I'm sorry I have to vote you out, but...
Well, Smith, you have 3 votes, so that's enough. Please step forward and hand in your watch. Smith, you have been judged by your squad, and your 25-hour day is over. Thanks, man. All the best. Sharp.
Today's judgment for me was filled with mixed emotions because you hear people saying, it has to do about merit and it has to be about captaincy. But when it comes to the crunch, you wonder where is that, the merit they're talking about.
Okay, gents, you have voted Smith out of the competition. However, there's still one vote which must be revealed.
I voted for my roommate and friend, who I respect.
Gentlemen, when we started this competition, there were 16 of you. And now there's only 8 men left, which means we are halfway to the finale. It's been a long 25-hour day. Go get some rest and think about how you're going to perform in the next solo trial.
Next time on the Bar1 Manhunt, the men get wet.
I have no paddling skills, honestly. I've never done this before.
And slap bang in the middle of his hair goes mine.
Jonathan put his boat on top of my balls. The stick is gone.
And in the squad trial, a double rescue. Watch the Bar1 Manhunt Tuesday nights at 9, only on SABC1, Mzansi for sure.